everybody. Welcome to Get Out of Rap TV. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of August. How the devil are you? Now, before I forget, I would like to thank my key partners, Sabio, here, for enabling me to do this show. They are my partner for this show, so thank you, Craig, Joe, and everyone at Sabio. How are you all? As usual, please do say hello in the comments. And I want to start with something that we did in the team leader community. So, hello, guys. Michael, hello, mate. You're my background again today. Hopefully, a nice, interesting one for you. Um, there he is, the legend, and something on Chris later today. The legend that is Chris Rainsforth from the forum. Lovely Ivunya Eva, who I was lucky enough to work with at BPA Quality. Um, Mark Ellis, hello. Now, Mark and Eva are both awesome and are looking for new roles. So please do get in touch with them both, connect with them. Hey, Danny's here. Morning, all. Thank you, Sabio, from this side of the screen. Makes our week. Oh, you're too kind, sir. My favorite talk show host on LinkedIn. This is Spencer, in brackets, Deaf. Again, it is amazing to have you here, Spence. And I know we've got to catch up, haven't we? Um, so, hey, Rami's here. Rami from the Team Leader community. It's great to see you, Rami. Uh, there she is, Raymondo, the Ray. New merch, Hugo. Now, I have to say, I saw this the other day. It is Hugo Boss. I can't. I only bought it because of my dog Hugo, of course. But I wish it was my merch. I could just blatantly copy it. Irina's here. Hello, Slava Ukraini. Now, if you want to hear amazing bravery, then you'd listen to Irina's podcast on Get Out of Rap. Chrissy Croc Spencer is here. Hello, Chrissy. How are you? Jules is here. Long time no see, DJ Jules. And Mike. Hello, my friend. Also now a member of the team leader community and adding value all the time. But yeah, unfortunately, Danny, it's not new merch. We could maybe do get out of rap Crocs, Chrissy. What do you reckon? For anyone that doesn't know, Chrissy is a massive fan of the footwear Crocs. Kerry's here. Hello. Hey from the sunny Midlands. And Chrissy, like Mary Earps, was a goalkeeper in football. So well done to the Lionesses. What a game. That didn't quite show up, but they have done brilliant, better than the men. And the girls at football training last night were buzzing about it. Joe's here. Hi, Joe. Hello. And Jules, Mike. Hi, Mike. You get to know each other, guys. That's the whole point of this. Love your toys from Monsters Inc. Yeah, this is my team. This is my team here. Mike Wazowski and his friend. I think his name's Gary, but Mike Wazowski is my favorite. Oh, Marco. Hello, Mr. Gow. Now, Marco, one of Marco's team, and lots of his team, including Suzanne, are in the team leader community. But I've done a podcast with one of his team leaders who was the UK winner, the UK National Award winner for Outsourced Manager of the Year in May, Suzanne Dawson Hull. And it is a great one. She is lovely. And Marco, thank you for organizing that. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? Forget Crocs. We need sliders with white socks. Hugo's eating all my sliders, but I'm with you on that. I don't want to start you and Chrissy off, Jules. I'm sure you'll get on, but she is. I cannot wait to see what's behind that cheeky smile. What do you have in store for us today? Nothing. Nothing is special. Well, actually, Eva. Hang on. That's it. I'm leaving. Sorry, Chrissy, but you do love Crocs. What can I say? Now then, this is something we did in the team leader community. Pader's here now. Pader's here. Neris is here. Wow, what a collective we have. So What three emojis would you use to describe yourself? It's a nice little thing you can use afterwards, of course, as well. It's a good little icebreaker for those of you watching sat at your desk. You're gonna, if you don't already, you're gonna have to figure out how to use emojis. But what three emojis would you use to describe yourself? And please, could you get in trouble with this from LinkedIn? I was gonna say keep it clean. I don't get nothing from you, Martin. Uh, yes, you do, Eva. Um, I'm okay, thanks. Good to hear it, Maria. So, what three emojis would you use to describe yourself, and share them in the comments? I will give you mine. I should have put them on here actually. Mine is thumbs up. Uh, the evil eye from Turkey. I love that. I've got it everywhere. And also a football, or maybe a dog. Hmm, I feel a bit bad then. I didn't I didn't include Hugo in that, but I'm wearing his. So Danny's off, and we have smiley face, bee, and honey. Perfect. I think we all know that. Mike has gone for the same as in the TL community: a wave, a face palm, and a rugby ball. Isn't this a nice little way to get to know each other? But Mike, you're going to have to explain the face palm. Mark's is a surprised mental guy with glasses. Chrissy has, you're going to have to describe these. So you have a cocktail. Is that nature, or what type of plant is that, Chrissy? And a love heart. Surprised there's no croc there, to be honest. Jules has got the music from his DJing work, the phone, and a happy face. We have Neris has gone for juggler, dancer, and eye roll. So juggling all your different balls. Neris has got some moves, and we know she can rap as well. So she's got natural rhythm and the eye roll. Is that for all the some of the posts on LinkedIn, Neris, or the state of our industry? What's the eye roll for? Oh, Jordan's here, the main man. So we've got cycling, nature, and I can confirm this last one is true. He's a little bit mental. Ever has loving person, studious, and eye for attention to detail, I'm guessing. I bounce from mistake to mistake, says Mike, but the mistakes are taking you upwards, mate, aren't they? I know that's the cut of your jib. Hello, NASA. NASA has, he is all ears, a good listener. These are great. I feel like I'm knowing you all far more better. Running. And is that a sunshine? My eyesight's terrible. That's lovely, Arena. Bev has, she is always smiling, a cowboy, and a bit of a scholar from Greece. Is that right, Raymondo? Maria, a funny, crazy clown. And talking of clowns, funny clown star, self-styled legend. That is the plan, says Mike. This progression from learning from our mistakes. Only a little crazy. I do work in this industry after all. Very true. Now, David is new baby, is that? Because you're not getting any sleep. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, hello from Deaf Spencer. Everybody, this is Spencer, and his is loving a bath, likes to write, and is that eccentric, would you say? Carl is going for a lion, a nice smile. I like that emoji, that one. And Father Christmas. Carl, you're going to have to explain those three. I'm not that good at hieroglyphics. Rami has gone for a bit crazy, a bit of a devil, and working hard behind her laptop. And congratulations on your recent promotion, Rami. Morris is here. So Morris is happy guy, a cool guy, and a loving guy. And Paul is here. Welcome, Paul. Paul is thoughtful, works out, I'm guessing, and is Is that high five or praying? I think different people have different interpretations of that one, don't they, Paul? But let us know. Peter is Peter is having a beer, the BPA unicorn, and a tick because he is more often than not he's right, and I know this. So, David, not new, but apparently it is sleep regression. I'm calling it something else. Oh, well, you have all of our sympathies, Dave. I think I'm suffering from sleep regression. Can you get that at 49 years of age? Um, oh, this has been great. Please do keep your emojis coming. And talking of the team leader community, he's here today, a legend. He is lined up as the next person. One of the benefits of being in the community, the next person delivering a masterclass for our team leaders is the self-styled cowboy legend, um, Chris Rainsforth, and he is going to be doing a session this Friday with all the members of our team leader community on building relationships with support teams. And there is already a lot of people signed up for that in the community. They're looking forward to it, and it's going to be a cracker. Now, Chris loves the pictures that I use. Oh, now this isn't Spencer, but your settings. Danny can help you out with the settings because I can't. You might all be able to see on the comments, but I can't see on the screen who this is. But rock sign, dog, music. You sound like my kind of person. Um, Paul, sorry, did I get that horrendously wrong? So if we go back, thoughtful, workout guy, high five. Sorry, Paul, if that's wildly wrong. Um, the tick for QA, nice, nice. Unless I'm right. Um, turn it off. Turn it back on again. Have you raised a ticket? Nick's here. Nick, you have to describe yourself in 3 emojis, and we're not winding you up. Um, yeah, I'm really looking forward, as is everyone in the team leader community, for Chris coming in and doing a masterclass. Orok, hello, my friend. How are you doing? All the way from Cameroon, wasn't it, Orok? 'Cause I know it's in Africa. Sorry if I've got that wrong, but good to see you, sir. Now then, did you know? I do love that picture of Chris. I've got some better ones as well, but I refuse to use them. Now, did you know we are only 99 days away from the Call and Contact Centre Expo on the 29th and 30th of November? Um, now, as you can see, that was a picture from last year, a lovely panel. Um, are you heading to the expo? There's 99 days to go. I'm going to be talking there and hosting a panel, and I'm going to have a tiny little space, probably near the toilets. But with this in mind, oh, here we go. Hold on. Now, Chris's session is going to be a great one, Jordan, and we've got World Cup coming soon. That's true. Spencer, I don't want to keep saying Dev Spencer. George is the 3 wise monkeys. Now then, Call and Contact Centre Expo. Danny is going to be there, hotel booked. So here's my question of the day. Are you coming to the expo in November? And if so, what are you hoping to see or hear? What's important for you? What are you hoping to see at the expo in November? I think this could be helpful to the organizers, but from your point of view, what are you hoping to see? So Kerry is going to be there. Brilliant. Need to book the hotel and travel, but I am registered. Brilliant. Um, then I will be planning my keynote in 96 days. So Neris is going to be there. Yes, I'm going to be doing the same kind of thing, Neris, for mine as well. Although I've got a little counter on my phone now that's telling me it's 99 days. I'm hoping that's going to help. Yeah, nothing like a self-imposed last-minute deadline. So the forum are running 4 workshops over 2 days. It's going to be a great couple of days. Now, I love what these guys do. I love what Chris and the guys are doing. Um, Talking to the organizers of the expo, they are really keen to try and do different things. And with the very creative guys at the forum, there's going to be 4 workshops. Chris, maybe you want to just note what they are down, what you're doing, because it is something different to the norm, isn't it? The last few expo conferences have focused very much on technology. I would love to see more focus on actual real people. Really good. I agree with you, Danny, and hopefully that will be reflected this year. It'd be nice to see it, wouldn't it? It's great to see new technology, but um I'm with you. Would love to see more focus on actual real people. But what does everyone else think? What do you all think? Mark sadly won't make it. Well, hopefully, do they? I'm not sure if they're doing streaming and things like that or getting access to. I know I will be doing some streaming from there. So stay tuned to that. I'll let you guys know nearer the time. I will definitely be there. Looking forward to doing some great networking with your 3 emojis, Paul. We can chat about that. Looking forward to seeing you there. Peter's there. I'm booked. Enjoyed catching up with loads of people last year. Didn't really collect freebies from the tech vendors. You're going to have to go double this year, then, Pete. Dave's here. I'll be there, but it's the first time in 3 years that I'm not scheduled to speak. Now, there's still, hopefully, Dave, there's still time, but it'll be great to see you there. I caught your speech last year. Actually, it was brilliant. Dave's going to be there, hoping to network with like-minded people and learn something new, and of course, some decent merch. Um, Jules, I'm registered to attend. Looking forward to it immensely. Really looking forward to more networking and attending the workshops, learning more about the tech and the people in the industry. Jules, can you bring your decks and maybe do some DJing there as well? Would also like the phrase human capital removed from all events. Morris is going to be there as well. Brilliant. Look forward to seeing you, Morris. Networking for me, says Kerry. Learn some new things to share with my customers. Meet with some existing customers. Perfect. Looking forward to seeing you there, Kerry. And potentially some new ones, of course. Yeah, we're all always be closing. Um, Neri says, Danny, I've been going for 25 years. It's always been the same. Well, it used to be all the BPOs, but now it's all tech. The money comes from the people who take the space, but the organizers are keen to get people representatives, which is why Martin is taking such a prominent role. I, yeah, I've foisted myself on them. Mark agrees with you, Danny. Transformation always seems to be about tech and projects. So many organizations forget the value of competent and focused change management. And there's no one better to talk about that, Mark, than you, is it? Workshop 1 is forecasting, shaping the future with playbooks. Workshop 2 is hybrid flexibility and future ways of working. Workshop 3 is productivity and understanding the true value of time. Workshop 4 is operating model design and effective target setting. Lovely. Lots of use of the word workshop, Chris. uh, no, it's not just CNC or conferences I've attended in the last 2 years follow a similar focus. Even the CIPD ones, that's interesting. Only if they pay me handsomely. But you're an expensive DJ, and why not? You've earned it. Chris, obviously more details behind these, and we'll be doing some accreditation linked to them as well. Brilliant. Like I say, something new. I love it. Not attending, but will stream all I can. Shame to miss an opportunity to network. So do me a favor and connect before you go. Exactly. Use this show to do that. Get everyone connect with each other. 25 years, says Danny to Neris. You must have been a child when you first. Well, she's from Wales, Danny, so child labour's rampant there. Um, I'm not, of course, I don't mean that. My mum's Welsh. Jordan, I'd love to come, never been. I'd be looking for some like minded people. Let's see what happens in the coming 99 days. Well, I know how progressive Gary Gormley is, Jordan. And today in the team leader community, actually, thanks to Bev, she's put in rationale that team leaders can share with their bosses as to why they should be allowed to attend the expo. I went as a young team leader, and it really energized me about the future and the industry, and played a big part in keeping me in it. Morris Pentel, I've been going since the third year. Like Neris, you two were there as children, like street urchins, Oliver Twist style, running around the expo stealing freebies. You're welcome, Mark. You're welcome. Change and continuous improvement guru. Pete, Danny Wareham, the big tech guys pay for it, so it'll always have plenty of WFO CCAS stuff. It's up to us to push culture and a people focus, and hopefully that's what we're doing. Book on, Jordan. Free to visit, and always great to meet people there. Very true. Shall we watch the World Cup rugby together after you talk? I'm up for that. We could even watch it at the time if there's a game on. Thanks, Def Spencer. Maybe that should be my next T-shirt, Spencer. Poor copying and pasting. I'm multitasking. You're still doing well, Chris Rainsforth. Are you doing a workshop on workshopping workshops? Workshopping at workshop. I'll be on the door, slipping my CV in the goodie bags. How is it that someone as knowledgeable, personable, and as amazing as Bev still hasn't been snapped up? Well, there's a book in this, Bev, isn't there? We've spoken about some of the characters in it. When you say you're on the door, is that part of the bouncer crew? I wouldn't mess with Bev. I've tried. Got to be careful what I mean by that. You know what I mean. Hopefully you will be going like Neris. I am doing a keynote. I know it's going to be on team leaders. Will there be accessibility support for my disability while when attending your talk show? I'd love to meet you and get your autograph. Well, we need to talk about this then, Spencer, because it would be. I'm very keen on this, and also for the team leader community to be accessible to all. We will definitely catch up, and perhaps you can help me with this as well. I'd love to talk to you more about that. 'Cause I'm picky. It's very true. Well, we know this. There's been plenty of offers, Raymond, hasn't there? I'd love to come and meet so many of you in person, but I'll be out of the country for 3 weeks. There'll be other opportunities. The mental image of Neris and Morris's children at an expo. Amazing. I'm thinking Oliver Twist style, obviously modern, but up to date. Pete, I rep one of the small CCAS providers, and 90% of my content is about CX over tech. The only way it works. Very true. Beverly Hughes, I don't think anyone could walk past without accepting it. Me and Jordan are fully paid up members of the Bev Hughes fan club. And why not, indeed? So I hope that we all get to meet up at the expo. It'll be great to see you all. And perhaps maybe, I don't know if it is it the 29th and 30th. Is that a Tuesday? Pete. Good use of emojis, Peter. I think Neris and Morris were just playing in a field and they built the centre around them. This all used to be fields. Yeah, I hope we could all meet up in person. I'm not sure if the 29th and 30th is a Tuesday. Maybe we could do one of these shows all together, or just have a chat over coffee. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Okay, now then, it's time. So it's time for our weekly. Hello, everybody. Now, do you remember we ended last week heading into attrition, and there had been It's on a Wednesday and Thursday, says Danny. Okay, well, we can still have a coffee and do something similar to this. I think I built my first contact center in 1982 when I was old then. I just look young. You lucky, lucky man, Morris. So if you remember, we're doing Contact Babel's Decision Maker Guide read along. We are hurtling our way through. I have to say, we're into my favorite section around people, attrition, humans, all of that kind of thing. And we ended last week just noting that there had actually been a slight reduction in attrition. Neris is just saying here, um, it used to be the NEC. As a 22-year-old, I lost my car for 3 hours the first year. Oh dear. Okay, so we are heading into attrition, an interesting subject, I'm sure you'll agree, and one that we have been talking a lot about in the industry. So hopefully these stats will interest you. So the respondents were asked the proportion of new agents leaving within the first 3 months. And there's an interesting note here. Getting a high proportion of the right sort of people through the doors and onto the induction course can greatly reduce early attrition. Attrition is something that should be focused upon at the recruitment stage rather than leaving it until the candidates are already in the business before noticing the problems. While 45% of respondents report few problems with early attrition, 12% have more than 1/4 of their new agents leave within the first 3 months. So more than 25% report that 12% have more than 1/4 of their new agents leave within the first three months. Interestingly, it says there's been little change in these figures over the past year, which suggests that any rise in attrition is not usually down to a greater proportion of new agents leaving. What do we think about this? And Danny, get ready, is pulling out a soapbox. So 12% have had more than 25% of their agents, new agents, leave within the first 3 months. Does do these stats kind of show what you guys are seeing and finding out there? Maybe you don't want to talk about your own centers, but you are observing other centers around you. What do you think? Mark, no worries. It's great that you've come. I do appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. Bad hiring equals 25%. So this here, um, is this 12% of more than 1/4 of their new agents leave? So more than 25%, 12% of the respondents answered that. Um, what do we think? Is Morris right there with bad hiring? It's a high number, isn't it? This data is provided by the centers, not the new agents, right? So we can't see if they are being misled at the interview stage. Mike, really, really interesting comment. And I spoke to a team leader the other day, and she was mentioning that for 3 of the contact center jobs she'd had, none of them mentioned working in a contact center. They all said customer services. And I wonder if there is any of that. What is that something that happens often? What do we think? So just Jules, more than 25% sounds like panic buying agents for a new campaign. And I think that would be a nice sort of matrix to view it over, Jules, wouldn't it? What is some of this higher volume hires? What are we don't get an idea of the volumes. There's a real siloed view of attrition in terms of blame. It's recruitment, it's onboarding, it's academy nursery areas. They're the wrong candidates. If an org looks at the employee journey holistically, they could improve early life retention massively. Yes, couldn't agree more, Danny. Danny is all over the culture, I'm sure, and it's a biggie. Also, some people see contact center as easy work without realizing how challenging it can be. Very true, Mark. Uh, Other Mark says expectations and support not being met within a new starter's onboarding process. Very true. Chris from the forum says one of the reasons we've been working with Green Bean is to launch. Oh, this is one of the reasons you've been working with Green Bean to launch the Grow recruitment program. So yeah, I would speak to Chris, Sarah Hunt, or Julie Mordew at Green Bean about what that Grow recruitment program is. Because you're right, it's you guys put it together, didn't you, to address this very topic? Dave says onboarding is so important. It is essential the business invest time in demonstrating a true well-being culture. Something very close to your heart, Dave, isn't it? And you speak so well on that. Kerry, so many customers approach me with an attrition issue. When we adapt their hiring process, it can be quite a process to get them to not slip into the always done it this way. Ah, that's interesting. And is that when they feel pressure, Kerry, to I think an earlier point was from Jules, was it around wanting to hit a higher number? Are they more likely to slip into the bad old ways when the pressure starts to crank up? Well, we can buy water for one. Hi, Ryan, by the way. We can buy water for £1 in a garage. Then it goes to £3 in a club or bar. And even on the plane, it is way much more expensive. You're going to have to explain that one for me, Ryan. Is it about the value of something? Um, Maybe because they are also worse jobs now than they used to be. Oh, Morris, really? Is that because you think we're doing more complex stuff? What? I'd love to understand more about that. It requires such a change across the key stakeholders, but there are loads of other factors too, of course, often. Um, Towards the end of COVID, the centre I was recruited at rapidly discussing working from home as an option after probationary period. Then afterwards, they removed it and pushed everyone into office full time. So changing things negatively. Um, so are people being misled? Says Ryan, and finding themselves in positions where they're not getting valued in their position. Yeah, another comment, Ryan, that came up earlier, wasn't it? That are we? How upfront are we being? I saw a client, says Danny, that had a huge open plan contact center on the second floor. The first floor was all small rooms where the interviews, etc., were done. So the day one shock of walking into that massive open space was unexpected and enough to drive attrition. Wow. Fixed by simply introducing a site tour as part of the interview stage. There's some nice, easy fixes out there, isn't there? I've seen videos done for the same purpose. Get some video tours done and some video diaries of people that work within the center. Ever says job advertisements often portray a polished and idealized version of the job, highlighting its positive aspects and downplaying any potential challenges. Lack of transparency. This is kind of coming through, isn't it? The stock image, I guess. Always done it this way. Ah, the worst words, aren't they, Mark? Worse for you, especially. Spot on, ever, says Danny. Setting the expectation which doesn't then match the reality. Ever adds, job ads might focus on the most exciting and appealing tasks, but the reality could involve a broader range of duties, including mundane or less glamorous tasks that were not highlighted in the advertisement. I've always used this phrase in contact centers. Join the army, see the world, they said, whilst being shot at. I'm sure that was a cartoon back in my youth. Join the army, see the world. Hold on a minute. I'm just cleaning trucks and getting shot at. Kerry said, definitely. It's a whole change in the interview itself to putting values, behaviors over simply just the same industry experience. Very true. Um, Not more complex, says Morrison. This is an answer to my question around does the job got worse? Not more complex, but we generally treat people with less respect. Quiet quitting is something people do when abused. That is so sad to consider, isn't it, Morris? And we, as an industry, we must do better. Um, these guys are so important, and that's kind of why I don't like the term agent, if I'm honest, because it's often prefaced with just. I've seen a lot of competition, says Pete, around multilingual demand. Agents are moving from different contact centers to maximize wage, collect sign-on bonus, etc. It's understandable when we see the ongoing cost of living pressures. Very true. Schoolboy error, Danny Worm. Floor for a few hours after fire and toilet stuff is done. Yeah. To Danny's earlier point about the kind of the shock of seeing where they're going to be, there was pushback that they're not employees yet, true, but for the sake of an extra 15 minutes up front, you're saving cost later on. That's why I think you need to do the video tour. You know, if someone wants to offer me a new role, I promise not to leave in the first 3 months. There you go. That's technically a written contract from Dave. Uh, so much talent is available. Dave, Bev, um, we need some progressive people out there. Mark Ibbotson says we were always happy to let a potential recruit sit with an existing agent to ensure they knew what they were getting into. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Now then, great comments, and I knew this would lead to a lot of discussion, so it's brilliant. Let me just go to reasons for staff attrition. Okay, obviously, looking at the causes, this is very much a kind of subjective. I'm not sure how much. Let's have a look. Looking at the causes for attrition, the stress of the work and the repetitive nature of some contact center activities were cited as key by a significant proportion of respondents in a survey carried out 10 or more years ago. While they remain important, contact centers seem to be giving a collective shrug by consistently putting just the wrong type of person for the job into the number one position as if there's nothing they can do about it. And I'm reading this verbatim from the report. Psychometric and competency testing at the recruitment stage, whether in house or through an agency, and the assessment of behavior and character will go a long way to stopping the wrong type of person for the job at source, with consistency of support, especially within the early stages of the role, being vital to reducing short-term attrition. Now, the commentary from that, from Contact Babel themselves, is that people just went, well, just the wrong type of person for the job, which seems, as noted here, very politely, I guess, that this is a collective shrug. Seems very lazy. The wrong type of person for the job. Um, Jules, I started as an agent. It was a huge culture shock coming from being a teacher and needing to work during a national lockdown. Um, and again, it's about this transparency of the role. Number one is absolute rubbish. Just passing the blame elsewhere, says Danny. Were they the wrong person when you hired them, or did they become the wrong person on your watch? And when you think that this is the number one response from the people that completed this survey, this is people from decision makers within our industry stated, when asked what were the reasons for your staff attrition, especially the early attrition, the number one thing they said is just the wrong type of person for the job. Dave, first, just the wrong person. Wow. That has to be a recruitment issue. Jules, number one, recruitment need kicking. I don't want to, I agree with you. I don't want to turn this into, we know there's a lot of people that do great work in recruitment. I think this is more about the kind of the decision makers within the contact center. This is just an incorrect answer, isn't it, by them? Is this still for people leaving within the first 3 months? Good question. Reasons for agent attrition ranked in order from aggregated historical data. No, this is all, Dave. The lack of opportunity to move up the career ladder is marked on average as being the third greatest cause of staff attrition, just below low pay. Let's see. Danny, as a psychometrician, I can advise you to not rely on them as a decision-making factor in recruitment. This has got you all riled up, and rightly so. Obviously, a bit of a biased slant, but I have to appreciate the honesty of anyone who puts poor working environment and conditions. No one wanted to put poor management, though. Very true. I know a HR recruitment head who had never recruited a bad person and never sacked a good person. How is that even possible? That seems hugely dismissive. It does, doesn't it? Just the wrong type of person. Pay is an issue across the industry. with some still only paying the living minimum wage. Um, when we've made it more complex and emotional, many can find alternative work for similar more money with less responsibility. That's such a good point, Chris, because we are up against retail and um, drive-through restaurants and things like that. And I think it's a real shame that that is the league that we're playing in. Ever says if just the wrong type of person for the job, then maybe an inefficient recruitment process, low pay. You know what you're signing up to, but people use a role as a stepping stone. It's easy to get a job when you have a job. True. Very, very true, Jules. Number three, definitely not the case in my experience. Lack of promotional development opportunity. You are living proof of that. I think a lot of us are, aren't we? If you can find the right culture, environment, um, talking to culture, Mark agrees with Danny. Hell yes. Then this is an amazing industry, isn't it? So it could be any word used to describe the role. The issue is the perception that it's an easy, low skilled job and that the role isn't worth investment. Just agent, just advisor, just salesperson. Yeah, true, Pete. Really true. Treat people like numbers and it's likely they'll play by the numbers. Very, very true. Kerry, um, sometimes there is an oversell on development, progression opportunities. Leaders need to be honest about timelines. Spot on, Kerry, and be careful with managing expectations. Is it the wrong type of person equals the wrong kind of culture? Morris, very true. Um, Number eight, it is hard to get shouted at as an agent. That is either poor support within the centre or a shyness from the agent to reach out for support. Abusive or unpleasant calls, number eight. Um, Really, really interesting, this whole table, isn't it? Now, Chris mentioned salaries. So, in Contact Babel, they actually share, and I've got it here for you, the mean contact center salaries and changes. The most up to date information is from 2022, and the change since 2021. And you can see for a new agent, the mean average salary is 21,876, and that's gone up 9.7% from the 2021. Experienced agent 25,164, and that's gone up 11%. Team leader supervisor 31,706, that's gone up 9.6%. And contact center manager 46,778, and that's gone up 7.4%. Um, the contact centers that think of their people as people rather than resource are miles ahead. People don't sign up for bad jobs. They have expectations that we have set, whether we know it or not. That psychological contract is our responsibility to fulfill, not theirs. And this is going back to this, isn't it? Such a great point. Um, the concept of psychological contracting, Danny, is a really, really important one for me. Maybe me and you can talk about that in terms of the team leader community. I think it's a really, really interesting one. Couldn't agree more. Mark says it's quite sad that the table is what the majority of people actually expect from the industry. Exactly. This is something we need to change, isn't it? Is it the employee at fault for number one or the business? If you haven't updated your center for the new world, then chances are nobody will be the right person, says Nick. Really, really true. You can get a starting salary at Tesco's for 22K to put that into context, and that is this one. Um, so again, this is what we're up against, people. If you want to go, let's have a look. Corporate commodities in too many cases, sadly, very true. Morris is saying to Chris, or a junior doctor. Wow. Is that right, Morris? That's shocking. Um, the UK living wage is £10.42. A 21K role is equivalent to circa £11.15. That's not fabulous. So when you are looking at these salaries here, and you think about the demands of our industry and the demands of whether you're a BPO or an outsourcer or um, doing anything. What do you think is driving this? Are we ever going to see this change, do you think? And Bev has come in with a comment. I would rather be on the phone than the tills. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. The atmosphere as a agent on the phones, and the people that I worked alongside, and the buzz and the social life and the different events that were going on, I thought were amazing. But I had no idea about them prior to joining. I'd like to think things have got better um, than that. I was on less than new agent average as a business planner with 6 years experience, says Mike. It's interesting what seeing these figures does, isn't it? Uh, there's no one on the tills, Beverly. But there are still people on the phones. So when you look at these numbers, do you think we are comfortable with these? Is certainly where do you think we need to, is there a need for a balance redress here? Um, Having done all of these roles, I can tell you when I was a contact center manager, I would have loved that salary. I was nowhere near it. That might have been more about me in the center I was working in, but these are interesting figures. Do you think the disparity between a new agent and a manager is too vast? Um, it would be interesting to see some of the stats behind this, wouldn't it? Now, um, as I expected, this was always going to be a topic that led to a lot of discussions, none more so than this slide. And it's meant that we've slightly run over. Um, but look, hold on. So just out of curiosity, are these OTE or basic wage averages? I will tell you. Let's have a look. It doesn't actually say, although it does say that there is a HR and operational benchmarking report that gives a more detailed analysis. Jordan, uh, I feel it's a legacy of seeing contact centers as a cost center rather than value creator or customer center, right, Danny? I wonder what the going rate for ops managers are. I would equate ops managers with contact center manager mark, or do you think there's a distinction? Um, if the money was better, agents would be prouder of what they do and feel more engaged every day. I couldn't agree more, Morris. Um, Hello, Matt. Matt says, after what amount of time are people considered experienced? Surely it's down to individual skill and not length of service. Yeah, that's a very good point, Matt. Um, and Danny Wareham, so true. I would imagine basic salaries. I think it is, Kerry, but I will confirm later. Listen, it's been another whirlwind, a lovely, lovely time again. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know I certainly have. Um, some great conversations. I think we always come away from this, don't we, thinking, what more can we do for our industry, and how much, isn't it good though that there are things that we can change? There are things that we can do to make our worlds better, and our worlds better for those coming into the industry after us. We're all here because we've worked through trials and tribulations and realized that it's a wonderful, wonderful industry. If we can kind of take that back to people coming in early on, then wouldn't that be brilliant? But it's been another great journey with you all. Thank you for giving up your time, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. Thank you very much. And Pete, I still haven't changed the Harry Kane one. He's still a legend.